What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 92 and we start today's episode off here in deadline day in Career Mode for this season. The summer transfer window is just about to slam shut, and you also get to see that Nathaniel Chalobah got an injury in the last game in the Capital One Cup, so he's going to be out for 3 weeks. But yeah, it is transfer deadline day and there aren't really too many deals that I was thinking about, to be honest. Of course, at the moment we've only got 2 goalkeepers, so I thought, you know, I'm someone that always likes to make sure we got 3 goalkeepers in the squad. It's not necessary. Some people think that, you know, I only need 1 goalkeeper. I've been reading the comments. Some people think I only need 1 goalkeeper, but to be honest, I always like to have 3 goalkeepers. And Jamal Blackman of Chelsea was on loan last year, I think, or possibly the year before, actually, and he was fine. He never got used, obviously, but he's low wages and he's the safety option just in case something happens and we need another goalkeeper. So Blackman on loan would be good. And Jordan Ibe, of course, we had this guy in our first season. Again, he was a perfectly capable striker, so maybe just getting him on a loan for cover would be good news for us, because as you guys have seen, we don't actually have the biggest of squads this year, but you know, just some cover players could be quite good for us. And Ryan Fredericks, a player with quite a bit of pace as well, a Spurs youngster, 23 years old, a right midfielder. I actually had this guy in my career mode last year, my Brighton and Spurs manager mode, and he was actually quite decent, so maybe Fredericks, but not for £3 million. I almost put a £3 million bid in for a 400 grand player there by accident, but yeah, maybe Fredericks coming in, that would be quite good news for us, because again, low wages, you know, a decent reserve player that won't complain if he never gets in the squad. So that's basically what I'm looking to sign on deadline day. Our first team squad is fantastic. As you guys have seen, we are now a 5-star club, which is brilliant. You know, we've gone up by 2 stars, or possibly 2.5 stars. Can't remember what Norwich were when we took over. I think there might have been a 3.5, but even so, it's not 2.5, 1.5. You know, we've gone up by at least 1 star anyway. So now we're a 5-star club. We don't really need to sign amazing first team players, at least not for this season. What we need is, you know, good reserve players that won't complain if they don't get in the squad. And of course, one of those players would be Ryan Fredericks as well, because as you can see by his contract, we're going to give him future first team player status, or I think sporadic maybe. Okay, future first team, and that means that he'll never complain if he doesn't get in the squad. So that's fine. That's good news for us. And he's pacey. He seems capable enough. And Blackman comes in on a season-long loan. He's not going to be complaining. He'll just be a third-choice goalkeeper. Only $3 grand a week. Jordan Ibe, another cover for our striker department. 10 grand a week. Okay, a little bit more, but still, he's not going to really complain if he doesn't get in the squad. And Ryan Fredericks then joins the club as well. So 3 quick acquisitions there, all young English players. Fredericks, of course, the only permanent transfer at 400 grand, which isn't really a lot of money, to be fair. And the other 2, of course, being Blackman and I, who come on loan, which is perfectly fine. So obviously Cardiff as well said that they were going to keep rejecting the bids for Kadeem Harris, because he was the winger I originally wanted, but if they're going to keep rejecting the bids, then never mind. And I also decided to look at the transfer list. A few of you guys told me to look at the transfer list and the loan list and so on. I use the loan list every now and then, but the free agents list doesn't work in this career mode. Like it doesn't, like young players don't get released to the free agents. They just either stay at the club or go to a new club. Regions, I should say. Regions go to different clubs in the league. But I was looking at the transfer list and I went into League One and I saw that Alphonse Areola, the PSG goalkeeper, is on the transfer list. He's only going to be costing us 300 grand. I mean, we don't need 4 goalkeepers, but I was looking at Areola. He's 23 on the game, but Areola, I mean, he's a Football Manager legend. You know, if anyone plays Football Manager, you'll know that guy does really, really well. So I was surprised to actually be able to pick him up for so cheap. And okay, as you'll see in just a moment, it turns out he's not as good as I first thought. You know, I thought I was going to get a young prodigy, but okay, maybe he won't be a young prodigy. But even so, 300 grand for a young goalkeeper with a lot of talent, that's pretty good news for us. But anyway, transfer deadline day. Neymar's gone to City for 47 million, Cavani to United for 31.5, and Mata to Real Madrid for 30 million. Those are the big deals in this transfer deadline day. And as you can see, as I go by the clubs as well, this goes pretty quickly. But if you want to stop, if you see your favourite club in there and you want to see what they did in this transfer window, then go ahead and pause the video whenever you want. City did a lot, didn't they? They brought in 3 players and spent 84 million. We spent almost 50 million, got a load of players as well. So there was, you know, a few clubs did quite a lot of business in this transfer window, which is surprising, because sometimes you only see clubs do like 1 or 2 deals, but there was quite a lot of business for a few clubs in there. Us, Chelsea, City, United, quite a few business deals there. And as you'll see as well, transfer deadline day ended, and here is Norwich, how we've got the squad set up for the rest of the season. Of course, as you can see there, we are now a 5-star club, which is fantastic. There's only one player in the first 11 that isn't an 80 rated or higher at the moment. That is Nathaniel Klein, because Luke Shaw just hit 80. And yeah, the squad looks really, really good. Just imagine that Ravel Morrison and Nathaniel Chalobah have their positions swapped in that squad. That's how the squad will look for at least January, up to January. So Chalobah, when he's fit, will be on the bench, because I really like Chalobah, and Morrison will drop to the reserves. But that's how it looks at the moment. Chalobah's injured, of course. And yeah, we do have 6 goalkeepers registered with our squad. Of course, Butland is on loan at Forest, and Duffy's on loan at Stevenage, I think, or maybe Dagenham and Redbridge, can't remember. So yeah, we've got 6 goalkeepers. I'm thinking what I might do is cancel the Blackman loan and just keep Areola, but there's no need to cancel the Blackman loan. It will cost us 36 grand, I think it is, to cancel the loan of Jamal Blackman and send him back to Chelsea, and he's on 3 grand a week, his wage budget. So obviously it'll be a saving if we cancel the loan, and we don't need 4 goalkeepers, of course. But I'm thinking I might try and send out Areola on loan in January. So it'll be kind of pointless to cancel the loan of Blackman, and then of course come January, instead of having 4 goalkeepers, we'll only have 2 again. Because of course Areola will go out on loan and Blackman will be gone by then. So I might cancel the loan. We don't need 4 goalkeepers, I know that, but I might just keep him. I don't really see the point in cancelling, because other than saving a few grand on the wage budget, I mean, he's not going to complain or anything. I don't see the point in cancelling. I mean, I do see the point in cancelling, I should say that, but I think it'll be more, I think it'll be better if we kept him, because, like I say, 3 grand a week isn't really a lot, and at the end of the day, it's perfectly fine with us to keep him. And as I said, I'll try and send Areola out on loan come January, and therefore we'll be back to 3 goalkeepers. So anyway, that was transfer deadline day. That was the squad. That was the squad report. That was the league table. Spurs fans, I hope you were looking away at that stage, because you wouldn't want to see that. But even so, we had some World Cup qualifiers here for World Cup 2018, and we lost the first one to Northern Ireland, and the second one we took on Bulgaria, and I do believe this game finished as a draw. Did it finish as a draw? I think it was 1-1 in the end. Yes, it was, and Hazard missed a penalty. So I mean, that's a terrible start, isn't it? Obviously losing to Northern Ireland, very unlikely, but we did, and then only managing to draw with Bulgaria. That's really poor, so I was disappointed about that, but there you go. The following game was against Everton here at Goodison Park. Of course, back in the Premier League, of course, we've had 3 games, we've won 1 and drawn 2, and that's not bad. I mean, at the end of the day, we had a relatively difficult start. Bolton away, I always find difficult on career mode, and Chelsea are a strong side as well. Now we take on Everton away from home. We do want to start winning the games now and start to pick up some early season momentum. And obviously taking on Martinez's Everton will be difficult, because they've got some fantastic players in that side as well. But even so, I still felt confident we could pick up the 3 points if we played well enough. And the first chance of the game did come to us in the 18th minute. What a great challenge by Pogba. He finds Benteke. Benteke rolls that wide to Nathan Redmond, skips past Jagielka for pace. He's got Benteke in the box, but he doesn't need him, because it's an absolutely delightful chip over the goalkeeper, and it just settles under the bar and goes into the back of the net. So a brilliant finish by Redmond, and we are 1-0 up here at Goodison Park. And in the 25th minute here, Gibson plays a great ball through here. A good chance for Everton as they come through. Eventually the ball comes over the top to Nikica Jelavic, and it's a super stop by Fraser Forster to deny the former Rangers man. So still 1-0 here, and in the 54th minute, Luke Shaw gets on the ball from a free kick down the left hand side. He's got room to gallop, gets past Robert Snodgrass, one of our former players, keeps on going, plays it out wide to Amjos Townsend. Townsend gets past Seamus Coleman there with a nice piece of close control, goes down the left hand side, crosses the ball in, and there is Romelu Lukaku, of course one of the former Everton loanees there. So a good finish by Lukaku after Townsend's cross, and that's how the game finishes. So we do get back to winning ways. A 2-0 victory away at Goodison Park. I was most satisfied with a clean sheet, to be honest, because I always struggle to get clean sheets, but I was very satisfied with that. And that's a 2-0 win away at Goodison Park, and I was very happy about it. And of course, we are in the Champions League this year. Here is our group. We're in Group G. We have FC Schalke, we have St Etienne, and we have FC Twente. So that's actually quite a decent group. I mean, that's not bad at all. I mean, okay, I'm not going to say anything bad about the teams, but, other than Schalke, I don't really see us struggling very much. I mean, you know, St Etienne, of course, got a few good players in their side, so have FC Twente, but Schalke probably going to be the strongest side of the group other than us. I would say that we're actually the favourites in this group. You know, last year we had Galatasaray, Real Madrid and FC Copenhagen, and we probably would have been the third favourites. You know, we would have been third favourites, probably going to be getting that Europa League spot. Of course, we qualified in second. Sorry, not Real Madrid, we had Bayern Munich, didn't we? Bayern Munich, Galatasaray and Copenhagen. And we ended up finishing second. You know, we were third favourites in my opinion in that group. In this group, for the first time in Europe, we are probably going to be the favourites to top the group, which is fantastic. So hopefully, touch wood, we can do that. Not a sign of overconfidence there. Sorry, that is a sign of overconfidence, and usually that plays to your disadvantage. But hopefully it doesn't in this group, and we can actually get the win. But we almost did concede early on in the 14th minute there. Steven Corker got a smack in the face, but it's a good thing he did, because I gave the ball away with McCarthy, and yeah, Corker had to get himself positioned on the line to make a block there to deny the open goal. So still 0-0, and just a few minutes after that, Dale Jennings did get the goal. So St Etienne must have been so disappointed, man. They were so close to just about taking a shock lead, but it was Corker's fantastic block with his face that kept the score at 0-0, and just a couple of minutes after that we were 1-0 up. So Jennings makes it 1-0 here, and in the 42nd minute here, St Etienne trying to make sure that I would sound like an idiot after saying we should be able to top this group with ease, and in the 43rd minute they almost did, but McCarthy made a super stop, and it was still 1-0. But straight from kickoff here, to give the ball away, Rondon gets challenged by Anthony, he gets past one, and then he intercepts the defender who got the challenge in, goes through one-on-one, good chance here, but he sees the run of Leroy Fer, our captain, passes it to him as he comes into the box and finesses it into the back of the net. So our skipper Fer gets the goal, and that makes it 2-0 to us, and any chance of St Etienne getting anything here was surely all but over. And he sees D'Annunzio lose the ball, but he wins it back again, gives it to Lee Marshall, another one of our academy players, back to D'Annunzio, back to Marshall, back to D'Annunzio, really good link up between those two. D'Annunzio for his first goal in Norwich colours, no, he puts the ball onto the post. That was a terrible miss by me. It was his weaker left foot, but even so, I didn't aim it very well, and it did hit the post and go out for a goal kick. And Rondon really should have scored here for St Etienne, but he had a free header with 6 yards out, and he somehow put the ball wide. So 2-0 the final score. I was very pleased to get our first win in this Champions League group stage this season, and yeah, it could have been even worse. We weren't actually that great defensively, yet we still kept a clean sheet, so I'm pleased with that. But there you go. And as always, guys, a big thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like, so that's much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out, and I will see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.